Hey, so I was watching David Pakman, and I know the topic that he was doing was anti-vaccine movement listed as top 2019 health threat. According to the World Health Organization, people that are under this anti-vaccine movement, they and their kids are under a threat because they're not getting vaccinated, so viruses can easily take hold of them. And the thing is, viruses have become antibiotic resistant. They've some allegedly have become radiation resistant. But here's the thing: things like influenza, that is no joke. Now, pneumonia, that's always in you. It's always in your lungs. It's always there. It just waits for your immune system to get so compromised it can flourish. That's what's messed up about pneumonia. But influenza, it is mutating constantly. It always do. That's why we keep getting the flu. Flu is short for influenza. And influenza ain't even the whole word. It's a long word and it sounds kind of cool. But these people are not vaccinating their kids, are not vaccinating themselves, and it's a movement. You've got, and David Pakman decided to go on the whole political spectrum of it, the left and the right. And I'm like, fool, both sides are getting sick. Does it really matter which side has what opinion? It doesn't matter. Well, he got hit by the car at 45 miles an hour. I heard he got hit by the car while he was running away from the car. Either way, dude or girl got hit. Person is either injured or dead. The only thing that matters when it comes to how it happened is how you punish the one that did it. That's it. So it doesn't matter what your belief is. You need to have a what is. Belief is not reality. Reality is reality. So you can believe that the government is making you sick. You can believe that it's just our punishment. You can believe anything, but until you know, all you have is a guess. And when you do the research and understand that governments have been working with viruses for a long time to make people sick, then you have a bit of knowledge. That's what that is. And that's what has happened. I mean, if the governments weren't trying to make you sick, why in the world would they keep Ebola? Why would they want to keep very old and archaic strains of influenza? See, when you get a shot, an antivirus shot, you're usually getting what's been going around before it happens. So they give you a dead version of it. It goes into the body. The body's not used to it. You know what the body does? It attacks it feverishly. Thus, why you might get a fever, why you might get sick. You still might get it because they give you what they think is dead. It might have somehow survived or rejuvenated, or just that one virus lived out of the cluster they gave you. So you get sick. Your body fights it. You live. So when the virus actually shows up and it starts sweeping the land from storms from abroad or below, then you don't have to worry too much. That's what vaccination is about. It's preparing you for the worst one that's going to come. Then the next year you get one of the new strain, the one that you didn't get because you were already vaccinated. And then they give you that and so forth. It's a cycle. Now, what's scary is the fact that there has been moments in time, even recently, where physicians have given people the wrong thing. Some have made cocktails with these viruses. And I ain't talking about the kind you go and have, your hobsnob and stuff. And no, not those cocktails, not the shrimp and stuff. I'm talking about they add some stuff with this. And it can exacerbate things that you already have in you. And they like to link autism to these vaccinations. And in some cases, yes, very few, because some people are whack jobs that want to add stuff to what they're giving you, and it exacerbates something that you have that probably don't show too well. But what they won't tell you, see, these are very rare, minute things that happen. They're very isolated events. But what David Pakman did that bugs the hell out of me is what a lot of people do. They'll tell you what's wrong. Okay, yes, things like the measles and Ebola and syphilis or whatever the hell is on the rise, heart disease, diabetes, and all this other stuff. That's on the rise. And it's terrible. But he'll tell you it's on the rise. He'll tell you what countries have reported it. But then he won't tell you what you can possibly do about it. And then he'll shill for someone that's sponsoring him, or tell you to join him and pay your $5 or your $10 or join his Patreon. He's not going to help you. He's just going to tell you how you're screwed. Is that really something you want? It's good to get the information, but it's even better to know how to protect yourself. Wouldn't you agree with that? And since I'm no expert, don't turn me off yet. Because no one out there is an expert. Just because they know a lot don't mean they know exactly what to do. All right? Someone can be an expert in something only because they know more than you and they've studied it for a while. But when that curveball hit, they're like, I don't know what to do. It was a curve. I don't know. Because that one thing can always, and it will happen, that throws it for a loop. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of this stuff that's happening, look, I've got type 2 diabetes. How long have I had it? I don't know. I also have irritable bowel syndrome. I've got that. IBS. Not only can I not leave the house, but on most of the time I can't leave the house. I'm sick, I'm hurt, I'm in pain a lot. I've had IBS since I was 7.5. Honestly, since birth going on. The stories I'm now hearing from my mom, lots of gruesome, jacked up stories. But outside of that, what caused it? Is it a birth defect? And if it is, why? How? How do I deal with it? How do I solve anything? That's the issue. I've got type 2 diabetes. How do I reverse it? How do I deal properly with it? Because you know what? I need to stay away from sugar. How do I do that? See, you're sick. You know what happened when I was a kid? I had a runny nose. I basically had what you would think is a cold all year long for multiple years. I asked my mom what was wrong with me. She said, you just got a runny nose. I got irritated eyes. I'm weak. My nose is runny. I get coughs, irritated mouth, everything. And didn't have allergies. Wasn't allergies at all. Not like you think. It was other stuff related to IBS. My IBS exacerbates any one thing into something else. So if I got a cold and I have an IBS flare up, which I usually have almost all day, but if it's really bad, it's like I'm gonna have the flu. I am done. What people aren't telling you is when you have, let's say for example, actually this is actually a fact, but sugar. When you have a lot of sugar, even if you don't have diabetes, it weakens your immune system. Did you even know that? Sugar in general, the granulated sugar, white sugar, weakens your immune system. When I found that out, I for a while just stopped having sugar. I did what I could to stop having it. And you know what? My allergies cleared up. And you know what? That was too much of a correlation. And when my allergies cleared up, I wanted to stay off sugar. But then, while we stayed off sugar, my allergies seemed to come back. And I wasn't getting back on sugar. Not at that time. I wasn't getting, because I was sugar. Woo! Man. Way too much sugar when I was a kid. And it wasn't my fault. I can do a story on that if you want. I can do a sugar story. the evolution of sugar for me. It was crazy. But what happens is I was getting sick. All my allergy symptoms were coming back, and there was no explanation until we got the thing. We saw stuff on TV. People were getting away from maltodextrin, dextrose, aspartame, all of those artificial sweeteners. And see, I wasn't having them. I wasn't trying to put it in drinks or anything. No, it comes in bread. They add maltodextrin to certain popcorn. Monsanto has made sure to put dextrose and maltodextrin in almost any and everything you will get. They put it in pasta. They put it in potato chips. Maltodextrin and dextrose. There was a commercial where this kid said it's okay to have maltodextrin or corn syrup or corn sugar. High fructose corn syrup was the main thing, and what they said for high fructose corn syrup was this, because I got it mixed up in the beginning. But he said high fructose corn syrup, your body can't even tell the difference. And when he said that, I looked at him and I said, "Fuck that." When you have to say your body can't even tell the difference, that is a red flag. Anyone should hear that and just think, "Whoa, no, wrong thing, screw that." When you have too much sugar, it compromises your immune system. It compromises your health. It compromises your thought process. It compromises everything about you. So when sugar was starting to get put down and people were shying away from it, then they got to force, because maltodextrin, dextrose, high fructose corn syrup, and all that other stuff. One, Splenda used to be bug killer, and it still is. They just realized in small amounts it has a sweet thing to it, and it's not as dangerous to the body. But you know what it does? It kills your liver. It gives you cancer. Same with maltodextrin, dextrose, high fructose corn syrup. It stays in the liver, and it just doesn't leave for a very long time. That's what's messed up about it. That's causing a lot of health issues, a ton of health issues. So if you got IBS and you have all these flares, it's because one, you're having either too many artificial sweeteners, it's too much grease, and that's something else. Canola oil, screw that. Olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, use that. Don't put milk in eggs. If you're lactose intolerant and you can't have milk, then use water. Water has the same effect on eggs. I've done it 3 times. It has the same effect on scrambled eggs. Just use water. There's just a lot David Patman did not go over. He didn't. Bread, because it has maltodextrin, dextrose, and it's also frankenwheat used in it. Because of that, it exacerbates other issues in your body. And it also has the same almost the same potency as heroin and cocaine. Have you tried to go without bread for 2 weeks? You're going to lose your mind. You're going to be angry. You're going to be pissed off. You're going to be snapping at people. You're going to sit there and start smelling the bread. You're going to start thinking about the bread. And then once it finally leaves your body, then you'll be like, whoa, everything's just so cool. How do we stay off of it? And then suddenly you realize almost everything you eat contains wheat or some wheat flour or something. And when you finally get that bread, man, it's like, yeah. It's like sitting down in warm water, man. It's just right. And that makes it not right. And as much as we try to stay away from bread, we can't do it. So basically, we have practically given up, but we still research on what to do. You can't be perfect. It's hard to be perfect, but you can always try to be better. And that's what we try. Don't buy margarine. Margarine stays in your system. It helps reduce your immune system. Margarine is just 1 to 2 ingredients from being wax. You set margarine outside, nobody wants to eat it. No bugs, no undomesticated animals. Nobody wants to eat it. You put butter outside, it can attract stuff. So, I mean, like real butter, That's what I'm talking about. That there are differences. And that's why people are getting sick. People get sick because the government literally is putting it in so much food that you can't evade it. So if you get Alzheimer's and things like that, early onset, these acute forms of it, it's because of everything that you're eating that's not regulated anymore. People are getting sick from romaine lettuce because it's not regulated. People are getting sick and throwing up and some dying because of unregulated chicken. People are getting sick and throwing up because of unregulated beef. They put plastic and wood grains inside of the Parmesan cheese bottles. What you think that's doing to your body? Taco Bell, don't go back there. Not only are they high price and skimp on the food, but then they put it's edible wood. It's okay though, edible sand. It's edible sand in the beef. McDonald's, we don't use the pink slime anymore, but what is your meat made out of? Because that don't look or taste like meat. I'm just saying, think about it. The nuggets from McDonald's don't even really taste like the nuggets that they used to, and they damn sure don't taste like nuggets that you get out of the grocery store that has less ingredients. So these things are making you sick, and nobody is going to tell you that. And if they do, it's because they're peddling some kind of thing to detox your body without saying, just stop eating some of this stuff. That's the issue. I know this is long. I get it. But I'm trying to hammer it in. If you don't want to be sick, stay away from sugar. I mean, predominantly stay away from sugar. If you got to have sugar because you like the way it is, use very small amounts. Use small amounts. Try to stay away from maltodextrin, dextrose, aspartame, all those artificial sweeteners. And don't try to be like, well, you know what? This one isn't. It might be a little safer. No. They all cause cancers, early onset Alzheimer's. They are linked to this stuff. It's not just Roundup, that poison with glyphosate that literally causes lymphoma that's found in Cheerios and other cereals, your wines, your beers. It's not just that. It's other stuff. And it's unregulated big businesses trying to save a buck and make a buck. That's why they also take out life insurance policies on their employers. Employees. Just think about that. Walmart made lots of money taking life insurance policies using life insurance policies on terminally ill employees. They made a lot of money off of that. So I'm just giving you something, because David Patman will just, and others, Young Turks, Secular Talk, they will give you the report and then shield, but they won't tell you what might be causing it, what can cause it, how you can possibly evade it. And this is one of them. This is just one. Out of everything I've said, it's just one way to avoid it. If you know of any other ways, if you've done any other research, you let me know in the comment section. Let me know, because then that way you let others know. There's so many things. If you don't want to vaccinate because you're afraid or it's your religion, look, I get it. I understand. In all honesty, you don't vaccinate, you run a higher risk of getting a terminal illness that could easily be preventable. So I'm just saying, Darwinism, in effect, is not survival of the fittest, it's survival of the wisest. And if you're not wise enough to get vaccinated, at least to attempt to be safe, all right? At least attempt to be safe. Then you basically legitimately signed your own death warrant, because people who are not vaccinated have been dropping off like flies. They've been dropping like flies. And sometimes taking other people with them. So just keep in mind, it's not what you think, but why you think it. So please think better. Get vaccinated. And if you don't get vaccinated, do other things to remain healthy. That's what I'm saying. Make sure you have a contingency. If you're not going to vaccinate, then make sure you don't take in other toxins. Because with those toxins in you, you can't defend your own body. And that allows your body to hurt other people's bodies. So be responsible so that we can all be safe. Please. This is Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.